even just in the covers, look at the difference between those, man. Huge difference. Is there a year in here? 92 to 96. This one, I guess, 97 onwards. 95, 96, 2011. Jeez. Greg Staples from the last one, more hand painted. Very dark. You can see his style. I think this image is why I got this book, actually. I really like that. The little white hotspot highlights just here, I've mentioned in videos before, really add to it. Yeah, you can really see Greg Staples' style evolving from the previous book to this book already. And then you see his stuff now. He does like almost hyper-realistic, like Judge Dredd paintings and stuff. They're really good. Definitely look out for his stuff. That's really cool. That's really cool. It's cool to see the evolution in one comic book, because even if multiple artists work on you know, this one sort of comic book character of a superhero or something, they all end up looking really similar because of mostly how they're coloured, but also you have one person penciling it and then another person inking it and another person colouring it, and so it loses, you know, an aspect of style and substance because so many hands have worked to create it that it just sort of looks, you know, kind of bland. It's designed by committee, isn't it? That's how that goes. Whereas you get these sort of artists who do every part of it themselves, so every, you know, strip looks completely different. Let's find a... Yeah, so hand painted, but then this is inks with, I guess the colours inks as well, inks or watercolours or something. Really different. Very good. I like it a lot. It's very gritty, very like little bits, little dots and scratches and stuff. There's a lot of texture in this work. I don't know who the artist is. I should have looked into that. Clint Langley. I'm not really aware of him or his art, but does good. Does good. I might have to look more into him. I mean, that's mostly what I wanted to sort of look at, was the evolution, yeah, from beginnings to where it is now. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It bugs me when they have like that. That's quite an important part, this character here. To have him right in the center really bugs me. I mean, it makes sense for the layout of the picture, the center, and then thing and thing. But like you can see, she's just off center, so you can see all of her. That should be the same, because that's, you know, it's a minor gripe. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, this artwork's really nice. It might be digitally coloured. It looks like it is, actually, yeah. Lots of like faded, you know, crossfade colours and stuff. It's done well though. I think because there's enough black ink holding the colours in place and separating the colours that it doesn't all blend together, which is important, which again is something lost in modern comics, where it's, you know, you get the outlines and then the colorist does everything, so it all looks a bit bleh. And this little Jim Murray, you do like Jim Murray, a little strip by him with a three-headed dog. Certainly not his best work, but it's good. It's like It's good. There you go. There's your pin up, your dynamic page that you can pull out. Because that exists as a piece of artwork without the text on it and stuff, just the painting. That would make an amazing like piece to hang on your wall. I'd happily hang that up. That's great. And then little figures. My favourite thing in painted comics is little figures like that. You go from that to that. I really like it. I like it a lot. And then this one, Pat Mills, Dermot Power, Stephen Tappin. Let's see. I think. Wow, that's really good actually. I'm not really aware of any of these artists. Really. Dermot Power. Oh yeah, he did some of the more basic looking stuff. Oh wow, so his stuff's really evolved. That's cool to see. Not more basic, the sort of more bold graphic stuff in one of the other books. And yeah, he's still got some of his bold graphic style, but that's really nice. The painting in the background, the underpainting left in the darkness there. That's really cool. That's really good use of light. Splash panels. We like splash panels with dragon fights, man. Not hugely impressed with these beams, but you know, it's not an easy thing to paint. If you say, oh, draw and paint two dragons having a fight in the air and they're both breathing fire at each other, that's not an easy thing to just knock out, is it? I like the painting of that. The colour, the tones of the pages. That's something I always try to do with my artwork, is have every page and every sort of set of pages, so every sort of destination the characters are in, have its own sort of colour theme, so it doesn't get too, you know, splotchy and random looking. And keep it all in tone. I really like the angles he uses. I like that angular artwork is quite cool. Not all the time, but when it's done well, it's pretty good. This is a really nice piece. Piles of bodies. They're difficult to paint without making them look terrible. There's some really good artwork in here, man. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? It's sort of the point. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Sliced his head in half. I like the blue for the armour as well. That's a really good tip or whatever, just thing to keep in mind when painting metal. If you go for blues rather than like grey, greys I use for like concrete and stuff, and then if I paint metals, I tend to use shades of blue like this. Just makes it look a bit more metallic, yeah. I like this weird green thing. I don't know what it is, but it's quite cool. Little painted figures. Yay! Because this is cool, and this is cool. And then they get smaller and smaller. It's a little painted figures. Love it. Really good little painted figures as well. Where you can see just like a couple of skin tones, a little bit of highlight here, a couple of details, and that's all you need. Perfect. Brilliant. Very good. Very good. That's really cool. I like that. That's a very cool painting. I love the wrinkles, the tones in the skin, the coins, the different like light, where the light's hitting them, where they're turned different ways. It'd be too easy to just, when you go to paint that, go, yeah, they're all this colour and this tone of like yellow, gold colour, whatever. But you've got to be smart and pull out just a few little highlights here and there where they're facing different ways and the light's hitting them differently. That's really good. This is the stuff you got to think about when you're painting shit. Can't rely on a colourist to do it all for you. Do it yourself. That's cool. That's a really cool little graphic image. That's a really good panel. It's Slain here. And so's that, actually. It's a really good little series. Like, these two are cool, but I really love this. Bigger, more badass. Oh man, Dermot Power. Yeah, I've got to give Dermot Power some more time, I think. Who are we looking at here? Stephen Tappin. Okay. Not aware of the guy. But, you know, maybe I should be. You can tell he really enjoys drawing and painting these crazy things like this. There. I'm the same as well, actually. Paint a woman's face, that's not that great. The expression's kind of not brilliant. But then you get stuff like this where he's really enjoying drawing and painting it. And then same here, like the girl's face is like meh, whatever. And then the other, like, ugly, gnarly, nasty faces, he really has fun with. I have the exact same issue. It's more Dermot Power, yeah. Comics are good when they're done well. Yeah, get away from all your Marvel and DC nonsense. Get some of this stuff down here. Not that I've read any of it. Oh, look at that. That's fucking cool. I'm trying not to swear. Damn it. That got me. I wasn't expecting that. That's really, really cool. Like, I have these books. I've looked through them maybe once or twice and then left them alone because I look at, you know, Bisley and Fabry. But then when you really take the time to look through it and you find stuff like that, God, that's nice. The fur and everything. Ah, really, really good. Oh, covers. There's a Jim Murray. That's really, really nice. Ukko, I believe, is his name, the goblin. Dressed as a jester. And that's all of those. I've got this. This is 2000 AD, the comic, which has a few pages of Dread, and then a few pages of something else, a few pages of something else, a few pages of Slain. This was, well, The Horned God by Bisley was 1990, and 23 years? Was it? Yeah, 2013. So yeah, 23 years later, he did this. Another hand-painted little Slain strip. It's like, I believe it's after The Horned God or something like that. Of course, I haven't read it. And it's almost disappointing in that when you've seen what Bisley does and what he can do, this doesn't hold up to that sort of standard. It's good, obviously. It's really, you know, cool drawings. Again, woman's face, blah, whatever, and then everything else is just hecking really good. I love this. That's really nice. Oh, like that couldn't be more uninteresting. And maybe that's the point. I've not read it. I don't know. But then, oh, you have fun drawing that. So yeah, it's great. It's, you know, nasty, violent, big muscles, axes, pig monsters, demons, all within just a few pages. But it's just really, you know, I think because of how he's using the paint and he's relying on ink a lot more, it sort of has a bit less weight to it maybe. And it's a lot more sort of like I don't know, there's just something about it doesn't quite touch me up in the same way that his old artwork does. But that's, you know, it's whatever. It's just what happens. That's how it goes. And then I've gone through this in my video about Simon Davis, so I won't, you know, bang on about it too much, but just have another look through it because it's good. This is already quite a long video, so I will try not to drag it out too much. But if there is anything to take away from it, it's that if you look at how different the art is from each artist, and that's what it should mean to get different artists working on your book. Pat Mills, the writer, he gets to work with all these different artists. And he's writing, you know, the same characters in doing whatever they're doing. But every single book has its own sort of feel to it, especially when, you know, the artist is like Simon Davis, for instance. Whereas, you know, everyone has their favourite comic book artists for, you know, Marvel, DC, Image, whatever. But they really do sort of overlap and interconnect, especially with how they're coloured and everything. But then you get stuff like this, and it's just another universe, another dimension of artwork, man. Little figures. We like the little figures. Yeah, I mean, bit longer, but rightly so, because I could just look through these books all day. I could literally spend a day or more just looking through all of these books again and again, just staring at individual panels for ages. You can stare at individual panels just because they're good, but then you can stare at them a bit longer, going, okay, so that's like using his brush. He's just got a little bit of purple there, just little dabs of purple to add highlights and stuff. A few strokes here, a few strokes there. You can work out like how he's made it, which obviously and hopefully can help with your own comic making. It's good, is what it is.